Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So we're on chapter 4, Bab ad-du'a'i ila shahadati an la ilaha illallah. So this is the chapter on what? Ad-du'a. So du'a comes from the word da'a. What da'a means what? Nada, to call somebody to something. So this is calling the people ila shahadati and la ilaha illallah. So call the people to bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the first evidence for this chapter heading that Imam Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab he gave, وقول الله تعالى قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين. So he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, قل هذه سبيلي. So he's telling the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say to the people, هذه سبيلي. This is the path that I'm on. This is the path that I'm taking. أدعو إلى الله. That I call the people to what? To Allah, which means call the people back to Allah, to the Tawheed of Allah, to giving the rights that Allah, to fulfilling the rights that Allah has over us, to the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ana ala basira, ala basiratin. Ala basira means what? Ala ilm, and understanding. Ala ilm wal fahm. That you have knowledge and you have understanding of that knowledge. So you're not just calling the people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with ignorance. And you're not calling the people with your opinions, and you're not calling with your emotions, but you're calling with knowledge. With knowledge that's backed up with understanding and hikmah, obviously, because you have to use wisdom when you're calling the people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ana wa man ittaba'ani. So this is the path that Allah commanded the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say that this is the path that he's on. And the path of what? Wa man ittaba'ani. And the people that follow me. So the people that truly follow the Prophet ﷺ, the people that claim to be on the Sunnah, they have to follow the path of the Sahaba. And this is the path of the Sahaba. Whenever the Prophet ﷺ sent, like he sent Mu'adh ila Yemen, sent Ali to Yemen, he sent different Sahaba off to different places to give da'wah to the people and call the people to Islam. He told them to call them to Tawheed. This was the first command. Every time that he sent the person, the first command was what? To call the people to Tawheed. Call the people back to the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and with Tawheed. And so this is the path of the messengers, and this is the path of the people that follow the messengers. The people that have gone astray from this are the people that call the people to the current events, call the people to politics, call the people to all the foolishness that you see nowadays. Oh, we need political power, brother. We can't get nothing done in this country without political power, brother. Yeah, how's that been working for the last 30 years? Y'all been keep saying the same thing. And now the Muslims in this country are weaker than we've ever been. So how's that been working for y'all? Your political power. So we need to call the people back to Tawheed. Let's try to give this a chance for once. Everybody wants to follow every single path except for the path of correct guidance. He says, well, subhanallah. Subhanallah what? Tanzih. Oh, mashallah. How did you know that? Yeah. Did you see that in a dream or something? Or what?
I already knew beforehand too.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Even before the class.
Before this class, yeah.
And the previous.
Yeah. Deja vu. All right, so tanzih is like, that you're making Allah free from any type of imperfections, or what's the other word that I'm looking for? Any imperfections and
mistakes.
Yeah, anything, any type of All right. Well, subhanallahi wa ma ana min al-mushrikeen, and I am not from the people of shirk. I'm not from the mushrikeen.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah, anything like that. Any type of imperfection. Any type of imperfections or anything. From any type of naqa'is. All right, so this is the path of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we're going to see, is what in the following hadith, which is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sending Mu'adh ila Yemen, and we're going to take this hadith today, and inshallah from tomorrow we'll take the hadith about Khaybar, inshallah. So this will split this chapter up into two parts. So as we see in this hadith, an Ibn Abbas radhiyallahu anhuma, anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam lamma ba'atha Mu'adhan ila Yemen. So we'll take this little by little and go over it little by little, because it's not long, but it's a longer hadith. So this is the hadith that's narrated from Ibn Abbas, in which he said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam lamma ba'atha Mu'adhan ila Yemen, when he sent Mu'adh to Yemen, qala lahu, he said to him, innaka ta'ti qawman min ahl al-kitab. So he said that you're going to a people from amongst the people of the book. And in Yemen at that time there were Jews and Christians. So it's not just the Jews or just the Christians. You had the Jews, they were in the northern part of Yemen, and the Christians, they were on the western coast of Yemen. All right, because they were closer to Ethiopia, they had dealings with Ethiopia, so there are more Christians in that area. But as you go further north, up into like from Sa'ada to Najran, and to those areas like Jazan and Najran and all that, because Najran is off to the right, Jazan is off to the left above Hodeidah. Those areas, they were Jewish, but you had the Christians in Najran also, which Najran was also a part of what? At that time was a part of Yemen. And they considered Yemen anything that was like, to the Yamin al-Kaaba was considered Yemen at that time. All right. So, he said that, so here the Prophet ﷺ is informing Mu'adh of the people that he's going to. Because obviously if you're going to a people that you're not from, if you're from the people, you know who you're going to. You know the tribal situation. You know the status of, like the social, what do you, like the little tabaqat of society. What do you say tabaqat in English? Social. Like status. The levels of people in society. Huh?
Social status.
The social status. But there's different levels of people, right?
Class.
Different classes, yeah. Like the different social classes. You know who you're dealing with. And who you're dealing with in that society. And how to deal with those people. Because not everybody you're going to deal with in the same manner. If you go to poor people, you're not going to deal with them in the same way that you deal with like princes or something like that. Obviously there's going to be different behavior, different mannerisms, different character. There's going to be a lot of different culture, different everything, and different even to the point of how you speak to the people is going to be different. Because if you were to speak to a lot of the poor people in America the way that you speak to like a king or an emir, they'd be like, man, get up out of here, man. What are you, like King James or something like that? Like what? It would be weird, because you're trying to speak all proper.
Oh, King James. I was thinking, oh wow.
It is the Bible, like.
I know, because usually when they call LeBron James, they call him King James.
Oh,
that's why.
He ain't no king or nothing, akhi.
King
of what, akhi? King of what? Because he could throw a ball in a hoop. What type of foolishness is this society coming to? All right. So he's basically letting them know the people that he's going to. Because if you're going to people that you're not from, then you need to know. You need to be aware of the situation that you're going into. He said, فَلْيَكُنْ أَوَّلَ مَا تَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَيْهِ شَهَادَةٌ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ وَفِي رِوَايَةٍ إِلَىٰ أَنْ يُوَحِّدُ اللَّهِ. So he said, the first thing that you call the people to is to bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah alone. So call the people first to Tawheed. And then he said in another narration, إِلَّا أَنْ يُوَحِّدُ اللَّهِ, to the, or call them to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one, to single him out and worship. All right, to single him out and worship. All right. فَإِنْهُمْ أَطَاعُوكَ لِذَلِكَ. And if they obey you in this, all right, so that's the first thing you start with. If they don't obey you in this, then khalas, there's no moving forward, because the people what? If they rejected Tawheed, they've rejected Islam. Khalas, there's nothing between us, right? If they've obeyed you in this and they've accepted Tawheed, now they've entered into Islam through the belief in the heart, but now he calls them to do what? The actions now. Now here are the actions that you have to call them to. So he said, فَإِنْهُمْ أَطَاعُوكَ لِذَلِكَ فَعْلَمْهُمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ افْتَرَضَ عَلَيْهِمْ خَمْسَ صَلَوَاتٍ فِي كُلِّ يَوْمٍ وَلَيْلَةٍ. So he said, if they've obeyed you in this, then inform them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it obligatory upon them to pray 5 times in the day and the night. فَإِنْهُمْ أَطَاعُوكَ لِذَلِكَ. So if they have obeyed you in that, and they've established the prayer in a way that they're supposed to establish. They have a mu'adhan, the mu'adhan calls the adhan, he doesn't take a ujra, he doesn't take money for calling the adhan. You have the imam, and he leads the people in the prayer. Now they've established this, right? 5 times a day, all right, in the jama'ah, the way that it's supposed to be established. Then what? He said, فَإِنْهُمْ أَطَاعُوكَ لِذَلِكَ. If they obey you in this, فَعَلِمْهُمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ افْتَرَضَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُؤْخَذُ مِنْ أَغْنِيَائِهِمْ فَتُرَدُّ عَلَى فُقَرَائِهِمْ. So he said, and then inform them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it an obligation upon you, that charity has been to be taken from the rich amongst you and distributed amongst the poor. Alright. فَأَنْهُمْ أَطَاعُوكَ لِذَلِكَ. And if they obey you in this, and this is where he stopped at this time, and there's a lot of difference amongst the ulama about why the Prophet ﷺ only mentioned these things. Why didn't he go into like a siyam or hajj and all that? And of course, because a lot of the ulama say because that's what was needed at that time. Then Mu'adh will teach them the rest later on. But first, this was to establish these things first. And once they got established, then when Ramadan comes around, he's going to command them to, he's going to teach them about fasting when it comes time for Hajj, and so on and so forth. So this is why he mentioned these things because that was the need to establish it first. فَإِنْهُمْ أَطَاعُكَ لِذَلِكَ فَإِيَّاكَ وَكَرَائِمَ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. So now he's giving advice to Mu'adh. He said, and if they obey you in this, they give you the sadaqah from the rich and to be distributed amongst the poor. He said, فَإِيَّاكَ وَكَرَائِمَ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. He said, and be careful of taking from the best of their wealth. You don't take from the best of their wealth, and you don't take what? You don't take the worst of their wealth. Like you don't take the uryub. You don't take like, the sheep, his horn is broken, or his foot is messed up, or he's mangy, or you don't take the ones that are messed up either. You don't take from the best, and you don't take from the worst. You take from the middle of his wealth. So he said, فَإِيَّاكَ وَكَرَائِمَ أَمْوَالِهِمْ وَاتَّقِ دَعْوَةَ الْمَظْلُومِ, and be and have fear of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the dua, with the dua of the person who's being oppressed. Because if you take from the best of their wealth, then you're oppressing them. And if you oppress them and they make dua against you, then the Prophet ﷺ is telling them, beware of this. Beware of that dua of the mazlum. فَإِنَّهُ لَيْسَ بَيْنَهَا وَبَيْنَ اللَّهِ حِجَابٍ. Because there is nothing between Allah, there's no partition between that dua and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears it and Allah will answer. Against the oppressor. Because this is the dua that is answered. The dua that is answered is the dua of the mazlum against the dhalim. So, and this hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. Now, this hadith came in Bukhari. I wrote down 4 different times. I mean, if somebody else can, actually 3 different times. And in Muslim, I got it once. So it came in Bukhari, hadith number 1496, 4347, 7372. And it came in Sahih Muslim, hadith number 19. If it's hadith number 19, that means it's in Kitab what? Let's see who knows Sahih Muslim. Oh my God, that means y'all do not read books of hadith. I'm just dealing with people that don't read books of hadith. What is the first book in Sahih Muslim? Kitab. And we're not talking about the Muqaddimah. The Muqaddimah, that would be the first. But what's the actual first kitab in Sahih Muslim after the Muqaddimah? Y'all got to be joking, man. You studied it. No, actually, no. We didn't finish the Muqaddimah. So he's ma'adhur. He's got an excuse. We didn't get into this book. Because when we were in Jacksonville, we were just getting to the end of the Muqaddimah of Sahih Muslim, and then we traveled. Nothing. Nobody. Kitab al-Iman. Yeah, Jama'ah.
I knew it. I actually knew it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's
from a previous class, right?
Yeah, I actually knew it.
I'm so disappointed. That means you guys do not read books of hadith.
No, they don't. I do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He knew it all this time, but he just wanted to make sure to give you guys a chance. And he didn't want to say it until I said it first, No, to give me a chance to also show that I know. Hey, wow. All right, so Kitab al-Iman. So if it's hadith number 19 in Sahih Muslim, that means it's in Kitab al-Iman. All right, the point of me telling you of all the different times that it came in Bukhari and became Muslim, this narration that's in Kitab-ut-Tawheed I did not see this narration in any of these. So I don't know where he got this narration. Like the wording I'm talking about. The hadith is there. The hadith is there. But this exact wording, where he got it from, I think he just did it from his head. I don't know. Maybe I didn't check the Musnad of Imam Ahmad. So I don't know. I have to check the Musnad of maybe Ibn Abbas and see if if maybe this wording is in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad. But this is not the wording in the Sahihain. So I don't, honestly, other than being in Bukhari and Muslim, I don't know where he got this exact wording of the hadith from. So if you are going to memorize this hadith, again, this is the only issue that I've ever had with Kitab-ut-Tawheed was certain issues like this, where, but you find this even outside of Kitab-ut-Tawheed. You find this in Riyadh al-Salihin, where Imam al-Nawawi, he'll bring the narration outside of the Sahihain, even though the hadith is muttafaqun alayh, but he's not bringing the narration that's in Bukhari and Muslim. He's bringing that narration that's in the Tirmidhi. So like, for example, we keep having this issue of what? The hadith of Abi Hurairah. من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله به طريقا إلى الجنة. Alright. سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة. And the other narration, سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة. Now, here's the final answer for you, because we keep going back and forth with this problem. This isn't Arba'in an-Nawawiyah, this isn't Riyadh al-Salihin. All right, this wording without the bihi is in Sunan al-Tirmidhi. The wording with bihi is in Sahih Muslim. So if you notice in Riyadh al-Salihin, Imam an-Nawawi brought one narration, and in Arba'in he brought a different narration. So this is what the issue is. So if you're going to say Rawahu Muslim, then you should bring the narration from what? This is Sahih Muslim. So the same thing when you say Akhrajahu, which is Bukhari and Muslim, then you should bring the narration that's at least in one of those two books, not a narration that's outside of a different book, Musnad Imam Ahmad, because you're not saying, or at least specify that. Like say, for example, this hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim, but this is the narration of the Musnad, or in the Musnad or the Tirmidhi. But this exact wording, like I said, I don't know. If somebody can find out where the exact wording is here, please let me know, inshallah. If maybe, inshallah, I'm supposed to be getting the explanation of Kitab-ut-Tawheed from Sheikh Abdul Hamid. It's in the books that are to come. It might be in this box that's in San Francisco right now. If that's the case, then I can check it. I'm pretty sure he'll mention that in the book. But until then, that's all I can tell you.